Hi everyone, Teresa Aker here from Success Diaries with Teresa Aker. It's my privilege today to introduce you to Amanda Slade. How you doing, Amanda?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it was my pleasure, truly. Now, I'm just going to read your biography and come right back to you, okay?
Okay, great.
Yeah, so Amanda Slade is a best-selling author, sought-after speaker, and creator of the Diamond Co-Creative System, an innovative technology fusing sacred geometry, spiritual principles, and strategic practices. So from there, to deliver measurable transformation and results personally and professionally since 2001, she has guided thousands of visionaries, seekers, entrepreneurs, executives, and legacy builders to shift from striving to thriving, aligning who they are with what they are here to create. Featured in the film Pillars of Power alongside Dr. Joe Vitale and John Assaraf. I'm going to let you continue the rest of it because there's a lot here to talk about. So continue on with that. How did you get here? And let's talk about all of that.
Okay, great. I came from 20 years of corporate and I did all that climbing up the corporate ladder, right?
Yeah.
And I was really successful at doing that. In fact, I was a VP of sales and marketing for a New York publishing firm for pharmaceutical marketing. So I was in some very competitive industries and always had high achieving roles, leadership roles. And then one day my soul got me fired. It was like, you are done with this.
It's funny how that happens, isn't it?
And so when that happened, I didn't have a plan B. I didn't know what I was going to do. I had been back on a spiritual path and learning about energetic healing. And so that was about 3 years prior to me getting fired. And so I was shifting and changing. I was really like, I looked great on the outside, success, had all the trimmings, all that. But on the inside, it wasn't like that. And I really felt disempowered, disconnected, and didn't know who I was other than my title. And really didn't have a passion anymore. I achieved what I thought I was supposed to achieve. I lived by all the shoulds, but it wasn't really who I was, and I knew I was meant for more, like something was missing. There was just something more to life and to what I was here to do. So that's when I really went on my own transformation journey.
Fantastic. That happens a lot to people.
Yeah.
Honestly, Amanda, the universe does talk to us, doesn't it? In strange ways. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good, but there's a reason for everything, isn't there?
Usually, when we're not listening or paying attention, that's why it ends up being more dramatic, if you will. Whether, it's getting fired, health challenges, financial crises, that's really your soul trying to go, hello, there's something here for you. I'm trying to get your attention. Or you can say your soul, the divine, however someone looks at that in their life. And I don't mean this from a religious standpoint, I mean it from we are spiritual beings having a human experience.
That's now on in your biography, you worked with Joe Vitale. Of course, I know that from The Secret and John Assaraf. And I didn't finish off some of the authors with that. If you could continue on with that and tell us what you did with them, if you don't mind.
There's a movie coming out in the fall
Okay.
of 2025, and they were originally part of The Secret. And I was invited to come in and be part of this movie because really what I do is strategic spirituality. And what that is, it's really helping people align with their soul's essence and create a soul aligned success plan. And what I did that through the Diamond Code Creative System. You mentioned that earlier. And so I have, over since 2001, fused together sacred geometry, spiritual principles, and wisdom, along with really life strategies, life and business strategies, because it's not one or the other, it's all of it. The piece that was missing for me in corporate was really what was my true calling. What was I here to do? What was my purpose? What was my passion? And when we're motivated from more of the shoulds and we're motivated from fear and all of that, we're not really tapping into who we truly are, which is love, right? And that love piece is living only vibrant energy. That's how we define love. And I just published a book. It's a #1 international bestseller called Evolve into Your All.
Oh, wonderful.
And
Terrific.
it is really about how to do this. And the tagline on this is create and live in the fifth dimension of love, joy, and prosperity. Because we didn't come here to suffer and struggle, even though it seems like we did.
Lately it does.
And there's a lot of chaos and uncertainty in the world right now.
Mhm.
And if we live outside of ourselves, we're really going to get affected by that. I would say infected to be affected,
I like that.
meaning that we'll take in that negative, low vibrational energy, which is really steeped in the third dimension. And that third dimension is based on fear, separation, competition, me versus we kind of energy. And what this book talks about is how you can move out of that into fifth dimension vibrations, higher frequencies, and live in that type of consciousness and not get dragged into the muck of what's occurring. Not that you're not aware of it, but you don't have to get dragged into it and then also get distracted by it so that you're not living the life you're meant to live or create the life or career, the business that you want to create. It's really about finding out what that soul aligned path is for yourself and living that.
Amanda, I love that. Can we expand on, can we stretch out the
Yeah.
spiritual side a lot? You're right. A lot. We've had some tough goes in the last few years. And I would say even as far back as, let's say, COVID and maybe even 9/11. So we've had
Mhm.
big shakeups. Now, a lot of people I've noticed, and it's just a general statement, have had some really hard times because I think our brains went to that negative side, if you will. And again, generalities. What does someone do? So so you're helping people get out of it, but could you give a tip perhaps of someone who's living it right now saying, "Yeah, but Amanda, I can't seem to focus on that frequency because people have said that to me too. What happens if you're not on that frequency and you're just struggling, you don't know how to get to the next one?" Can you give us a hint on that?
Yeah, that's a great question. The bottom line is it's focusing. So we have fear, right? So
Yeah.
fear can be finding evidence that creates results, right? Or finding evidence that is generating the results that's happening. And it collapses your energy. But you could also take that same fear and you could give it a new definition. Focusing energies to alter results. So, what is it that you really want? Like, I can tell you back in 2017, 18, I had just gotten married, and my husband's business it decreased to a quarter of the revenue that he was generating each month. What that meant was we literally couldn't pay our rent. But because I've been teaching this and I've been living this, I didn't go into the scarcity, the lack, the fear. I kept on focusing on what I desired to create. So even if we had a negative balance, or literally we're trying to figure out what to do with the $10 that we had,
Mhm.
whether we buy groceries or put it in the gas tank, I kept on focusing on what I desired. And the desire was I wanted to live a very fruitful, abundant, prosperous life. I wanted to live a life that also I was being of contribution. I was building my business back up. I had taken a couple years off, so I was reigniting it and rebuilding it. So I didn't allow myself to get distracted by the circumstance or the condition that was occurring, because that's all transitory. It's not what's true. It's transitory.
So can I ask you, if we can just stay there for a second. So
Yep.
now and you've graciously shared your story. So now you're in the depths of it. Some people might think, how this is the real life. This is so I can't
Yep.
pay my rent, but I'm looking at where I want to be. So your mind goes, the body follows. I understand that. So let's help everyone. Just one more kind of get over that bridge. How does someone say, okay, how do I not focus on the problem when you've got bombarding mail coming in saying, you've got to pay that bill,
Yes.
you got to pay the rent, you may not have a home. No, but I'm
Yep.
just saying the negative.
Yes,
And we
absolutely.
want to be positive. We want everything to be good for everybody.
So it's really embracing, okay, I feel this fear right now.
Right.
I am in the depths of this and feel the feelings, right?
Yeah.
But then again, choose if I was going to envision a different outcome, what do I want it to be? So literally, we in amidst all this, we had to move because
Oh,
where we were renting, the landlord was gifting the house to one of their sons.
oh my goodness.
Okay. At that time, we had no money in the bank. We had crappy credit. It was a mess. People looked at it like, okay, good luck on that.
Yes. And
This,
meanwhile, you're saying it's all going to be good, right?
yeah. Oh, I knew it was a gift for the from the universe. Time to move on. Get out of this house. This house isn't conducive for you. There's a new home waiting for you.
Yeah.
I really believe in what the universe doesn't give you a problem without a solution.
That's profound.
Okay, does not give you a problem without a solution. So I believed in the solution.
Perfect.
So part of what we're talking about is having faith, having belief, having trust. Even if you don't trust and believe in yourself, I always trust and believe in the universe. And again, universe can be however you term that, God, the divine, your
Higher
angel,
source. Yeah.
whatever that higher source.
Yeah.
But here's what I knew. I had a system, the Diamond Cook Creative System. There's a tool in there called the manifestation template. I looked at my husband and said, what do we want in a new home? So we spelled it out and we were very particular that, and I even threw in there, I would love to be by the water, overlooking the water, having a short walk to the water. I even put that in there. And I'm in my egoic brain, my egoic mind
Yes.
said, how the hell are you going to get that?
Yeah.
But I knew that, hey, I'm going to put it out there. Why not? And then we also put the rent would be similar. We would have landlords that would welcome us in. At that time, we had a dog and two cats that they would welcome that in. We had things stacked against us if you would look at what the outside looked like, right? And literally, Teresa, what I did was we put that on the manifestation template and I kept just rereading that. And we would go to the different houses. Oh, and by the way, this was in San Francisco, Marin County, which had very limited housing at
Sure.
that time.
Sure.
And I'm just like, okay, we're going to find it. The universe wouldn't give us a problem without a solution already being there. And we would go to the first couple of places. And I told my ex, I said, we're only going to have to look at 6 houses. He's, what? I'm like, seriously, we'll only have to look at 6 houses. And he's, okay, whatever. So the first couple, he's trying to make it work. I'm like, look at our manifestation template. This is not it. And at one point, we got really close, the 5th house. We got really close. We put an application in. I couldn't sleep that night. It was 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm on Facebook Marketplace and this house shows up. And I'm like, no way, no way is that available. For that price, no way. Sure enough, it was. Long story short, is that this house was on a hill overlooking the San Francisco Bay. You looked at one area, one place, and you saw the San Francisco Bridge, the Golden Gate Bridge, and you
Nice.
saw Angel Island, and it was a 5-minute walk down to the water, to the
That,
bay.
that's fantastic.
But you ask, how do you get out of it?
Yes.
We use that manifestation tool, the Diamond Co-Creative System, and we actually give away that tool for free. So your
Oh,
audience can get it for free on the
put it in the
website.
show notes. Thank you.
Yeah. And we kept on, I kept on believing it could be so. And not that it could be so, it is.
So you
And
also believe in like today you think, okay, so if I may
yeah,
just add right there, because I also I've read The Secret and followed a lot, as I said to you the previous before the show. So my thought is, because I use a vision board, Mr. Canfield talked about a vision
yep,
board. I follow that, do it on my computer. I have a rotating picture of what I want. I visualize what I want before I go to bed, get up in the morning, visualize what I want. So I really, although I enjoy my life and I give gratitude, I really do the same thing, Amanda. I look at where am I going, what do I want, and how am I going to get there? And then I just leave those questions to the universe at night, and the answers seem
absolutely.
to come.
Yeah. And the other key point on this is that you also have to become a vibrational match to what it is that you desire. So it's not just a thought process. This is where I love The Secret, but the missing piece was that it's about bringing it in so that you feel it and that you're vibrating it out. So it's heart and mind together, and just it's spiritual and physical together to become that vibrational match to what you desire. I was a vibrational match to that house occurring.
Right.
There's been times in my business I've wanted to increase the revenue. I've put that in a manifestation template. However, sometimes let's say the increase is really big. I realize, oh, I'm not a vibrational match. So then I have to go and do the energetic healing, the clearing work to realign my energy to become a vibrational match.
That's the key right there. Right
Yeah,
there. You've got
yeah,
to clear the energy.
yes.
Because if you're on the
So
wrong frequency, no matter what you do, is not going to happen.
you're going to manifest, but you're not going to manifest what you want because we're
Right.
always manifesting. So if you're not manifesting the life that you want, what is going on internally? What's going on energetically within you? Because there can be conditioning, programming, past life bleed throughs, lineage encodings from our ancestors. It can be genetic encodings. It can be imprints that we brought in from our families that we believe that really aren't our belief systems, but we've taken them on as ours. And those may not be congruent. At one point, I had my mom say to me, you got to get a job. Like, she really liked when I had my 6-figure, beautiful home. But then when I went into this work, she's, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And she says, you've got to survive. You got to get a job to survive. And I just looked at her. I'm like, I am not here to survive. I'm here to thrive. And I'm here to make a difference in what I'm doing. And I'm going to thrive and prosper in that while I'm being joyous. We're moving out of that struggle, hard work, make it happen energy to allowing to be in the flow, into synchronicity, into allowing the universe to provide to me and allowing the universe to guide me, my soul to guide me. And that's what this book does. This book gives people a blueprint to work from. It gives them tools and techniques, gives them understandings of why you want to do this.
Could you hold your book up again, please, Amanda?
Yeah,
So we can get that on Amazon and Barnes and
absolutely.
Noble, things like that, places like that.
Not yet. It's just brand new out, so it's only on Amazon.
Okay.
Barnes and Noble will eventually get into, but you can do Amazon. So
Right.
evolve into your all.
So they can get on Kindle as well.
Yeah, Kindle, there's a paperback, there's a hardcover, whichever that I would highly recommend that people get the paperback because first of all, this is in color. It has
Beautiful.
all kinds of tools in it.
I'm
And
getting the book. I'm
and
getting
you
my copy today.
yeah, and you want to get it. And also in the book, there's a resource hub that I provide so people can download even more tools, like
Oh,
the
that's great.
manifestation template that I was talking about.
Yes.
Although they can do that on the website for free right now, too. And the website is co-create your success. Co-create your success. And I'm laughing, Teresa, because years and years ago, I I was given that name. And like, why am I calling everything co-create your success? Because that's what we're doing. We're co-creating our success with the universe. We're co-creating with others, like you and I are co-creating right now, right?
100%. Yeah.
And co-creation is a fifth dimension attribute. It's part of what the fifth dimension is about, is co-creating, collaborating with ourselves first,
Sure.
really getting to know ourselves,
Yeah.
and then with others and with the universe. So it's an amazing journey that we can be on. And in the book, we explain how you move from third dimension to fourth dimension, which is the bridge between the two.
Okay.
And the bridge is when you realize, fourth dimension is when you realize there's a spiritual aspect to life. There's a spiritual aspect to ourselves, but there's a spiritual aspect to life. And in that life, then what can we bring in? What can we open up into our more and our all, right? And our all is all of who we are. And it's also just embracing the good, the bad, the ugly of ourselves. That if we don't like an aspect of ourselves, we can change it. We have a conscious choice to change it. We have an opportunity.
And I would think, Amanda, honestly, even if we make mistakes, it's okay. We have to embrace that side of ourselves too and say, you know what? I'm my own best friend. It's okay. We all make mistakes, and you got to embrace that side that you may not be too happy about and say, but it's still me, and it's still you're still a kind person and you're still a good person. You just make some mistakes along the way, or you make choices that are meant to happen. Because I do say this, it happened because it was supposed to happen, because that takes you in a direction that you're headed that you may not realize at the time, even though it seems like a big mistake, it's actually taking you to where you need to be. Would that be fair, Amanda?
Absolutely, because the mistakes are due to things you didn't know. So
Exactly.
mistakes gave you, and even failure gave you an opportunity to learn something. It gave you an opportunity to grow, and it gave you an opportunity to expand and to evolve. If we don't make those mistakes or failed, we aren't necessarily learning. And I'm not saying you have to fail or make mistakes to
Yeah.
learn.
No,
In
but I
fact,
get
that's
that.
the old paradigm. But it is really about going, okay, what did I learn from this? And let's say we invite people in. People have relationships that didn't work out or that were very challenging. But then you learn about yourself and you learn what you really want and need. And then you learn how to ask for that. So mistakes aren't a bad thing, and they do not mean anything about you. And that's the biggest thing for
Oh,
people to
that's
get
very
out of
good.
the judgment of it, the shame of it, the guilt of it. It does not mean anything about you. You just are learning and you're growing and you're evolving.
I like that because, Amanda, I think most people do that. And I think we compare during
Yeah.
those times. We think, oh, no one else did it, just me. So I must have the problem. And we beat ourselves up for absolutely no reason. In fact, it's a good thing. You're growing, you're learning, as you said, and don't compare yourself because they may have their own journey that you don't even realize that they had to go through. So don't do
Absolutely.
that. Just be your own best friend, right?
And people are looking at people that have a lot in their life or they're millionaire, billionaires. but what else is going on for
Yeah,
them?
exactly.
We do
Exactly.
not know. And that's one of the things that, I always say within my community, remember, don't compare your life to someone else's, your journey, because your journey is yours.
Yeah.
Theirs is theirs. We all came here to learn something. We all came here to heal and complete something. And we all came here to expand and to evolve into the more or into the all of who we are. And even expand that, because as we leave this planet, our soul is going to take everything that we learned and keep all of that so that when we come back, and people are like, I don't want to come back to this. But when you do come back, now you don't have to start at that point. One of the reasons why I got on my own healing journey, because my life wasn't working. It was just like, relationships weren't working, my money wasn't working, now I don't have a job, all of that, it wasn't working. And what kept propelling me forward was, I don't want to have to come back and do this again. And I
Kind
was
of get that.
you're right. And I was really steeped in codependency. I did all the shoulds. I was looking for everyone to like me, love me, accept me,
Yeah.
validate me, looking to the outside for that.
Yeah.
And was so unhappy and so unfulfilled. And then also just like I didn't have a life force within me. And I came from that and also had huge issues such as abandonment, rejection,
Right.
not good enough, not enough, all of that running me. And it was really when the system came in that as I started working with it myself personally, it healed it, it completed it, it's done, it's once and for all. None of that runs me anymore.
Beautiful.
Which,
And that
yeah.
system, so now people can get your book and do the system and follow it through. And then may I ask, as we do the next journey, if we could go there for a moment, will that be a whole new course for you, a new book, a new project? What is coming forward?
Yes. Yeah. So we have programs that we deliver now, which you can work with me both one-on-one, but also in groups. So
Okay.
we have the Diamond Code Club, which has the individual Diamond Code creation codes that are in the book. We have Evolve Your All, which is the book, but having me and being within the community, because such a sweet community that people can just be their authentic self,
Nice.
even if they have crap going on, and they can just show up the way they're going to show up and know that they're going to be loved upon, nurtured, supported to get through what they're getting through. So we have that. And then we also have a mentor diamond light circle, which is a beautiful circle of women that are really about mastermind, master heart, master soul. And the soul's journey, which will be my book in the first quarter in 2026.
Okay.
People can go through that journey now. We have it as an online program. And in the summertime, we're going to do it where they can work with me with it. So
Oh,
there's a lot going on. If people really want to know what's happening, have register on the website, get the manifestation template for free, and that will put you in the queue of other things. But this has been my passion, my purpose since 2001, and I'm just seeing it unfold. And this is the time,
yeah.
like you said earlier, about there's always a reason for things. We've had this since 2001, but only in the last few years, in fact, COVID was when we started propelling it forward, because now is the time that people would be going, I need something. What's going to help me get through this? And we had COVID hit. The system went and created the elevation codes, the ascension codes, so many other tools that we work with now that are helping us go through these shift of the ages, because we are in a major shift time. And also that other word. But we're in a major time of shift. And that's why we have so much chaos and uncertainty. Really would love the audience just to know that if we're going to get through this, but the way that you get through it is to keep connected, centered, and really grounded within yourself and know what's true for you versus getting caught up in the fray of everything.
Amanda, you have given us such wonderful advice. I truly appreciate your time today. I have another question for you.
Sure.
We've had a great day. I would
Yeah.
love it if you would entertain coming back and doing another episode down the road when you do your project and perhaps answer questions that perhaps the audience will have for you or ideas or questions that we can ask you then. Would that be all right with you?
That would be great. Yeah, I would love it. Yeah, and it's going to be exciting in the fall when Pillars of Power, the movie comes out, and there's a book that's going to be with it. So it's going to be an exciting time with that.
And absolutely. So even just before that, if you let me know,
Yeah.
I'll promote at least letting everyone know when it's going to be out. I'd be happy to do that for you as well because you'll have a date
Okay.
then.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
You are
Thank you for
wonderful.
having me.
Oh,
Yeah.
my pleasure, Lee. So to everyone, please go over to Amanda's on Amazon, get her book, get the whole program, get everything you can, and get yourselves into that wonderful centered area. Thank you, Amanda. That was wonderful to have you today. And to everyone else, this is Teresa Aker from Success Diaries with Teresa Aker. I hope you're all having a great day. Do subscribe to my channel. I truly appreciate that. Have a great day. I look forward to talking to you all very soon. Bye bye now.